Hi guys, good morning. I am still in Batavia. It is Sunday morning, 9:40 in the morning, and I just spent my time this morning getting ready after two very busy, intense days. I'm just taking my leisurely time this morning, checking out. I wanted to recap this trip for you guys. So much went on and I wasn't sure what story would surface for me to share with you guys, and there is one story that rises to the top. After having met all like the truther celebrities on Friday, I thought for sure this one of the stories would involve them. With a highlight, I used to ask my kids after their day, when they were little, I would say, where did you see Hashem the most today? Where did you see God the most today? And it is really narrows your focus to think, where did I feel the most special today? Where did I feel the most guided? Where did the timing or the synchronicity happen? So for me, it went like this. I spent Friday behind the metal barrier with all the celebrities. How did I get there? Because in the morning I didn't charge my phone. You know when you're behind with your phone and you just can't get enough charge. So I got to the event on 30%. So I was like, before everything started, I said, let me go find a place to plug in and sit for a while and charge. So I'm sitting with my phone inside the building. The event was outdoors and in a tent. So I went inside the Cornerstone Church and I was charging my phone, and then all of a sudden I hear the voice that I knew right away. It was Dr. Aaron Lewis. He has an unmistakable baritone voice, and I was like, oh, there he is, let me go find him and say hello. So I followed the voice, and we hugged and said hello. We're so happy to see each other, and I wished him good luck speaking. And then he goes, actually, I have to run and pick up Trisha from the airport, Trisha Lindsay. She just landed. I'm like, you know what? Let me do that for you. Why should you have to run out and be harried before your speech? So he took me up on my offer, and I went to pick up Trisha at the airport, Rochester Airport, who is lovely. Trisha is so lovely, and she's royalty, that woman. She's a queen. And it was just a privilege bringing her to the event. And then we pulled in, and because she's a speaker, I got to park in a totally different area and section that was being guarded heavily, and they it was just cool to be a VIP, that experience. And when we got in, they assumed that I was her +1, and they let me stay behind with all the speakers the whole day. So I got to take pictures with so many really famous people, and I posted them all to my Telegram channel, Gila Jed channel, which is linked below. So you can see the pictures of me being a dork, taking all the celebrity pictures that I could, and just having a great day, and feeling really special, really chosen, and the divine timing of it, just having sat in the exact place to charge my phone. The fact that I hadn't charged my phone brought me to my destiny, all these things that I was reviewing in my head, how I got to be where I was, when I was, and who I bumped into. And what was cool also is that when I went to my car to charge again in this private special lot, I just grabbed like another 10% on my phone. As I was walking back to the event for my car, there was another car pulling up the road, and I look in the window and there's Eric Trump in the car, and I was like, cool! What are the chances that I, intersect with him in just that moment? Very, very cool. He's a cool guy also, very humble, very sweet looking, very, just very, very tall, very cool guy, very nice energy coming off of him. And I realized that the most meaningful thing when meeting the celebrities is when they give you a moment of actual presence, that they look you in the eye and they acknowledge your soul with their soul. And I got that experience from so many of those speakers. I got it from Charlie Ward, and I got it from Bo Polney. I met this wonderful prophet. She is a prophet. Her name is Michelle Maggio. She spent time with me. It was just such a beautiful and special day. And then what happened was I went back home. I lit my candles Friday night. I had my Shabbos by myself, which was very peaceful. And then I woke up the next morning, and on Shabbos, on the Sabbath, I can't carry my phone. I can't have my phone with me. I can't drive. So I walked the 3 miles to the venue, and it was a beautiful morning, and the weather was stunning, and the scenery was beautiful as I walked. Open cornfields and just beautiful, beautiful country up here. And people were stopping to offer me rides the whole way. I'm like, no, I'm good, I'm good. Very lovely out-of-town vibes up here near Rochester in Batavia. So I get to the venue, and I try to get back there again because I knew a lot of the guards, but this one woman stopped me. She's like, if they're not here, if your person is not here, you cannot come back here if you're +1. So I was like, okay, I'll go sit. So I sat in the front row because I did have a VIP ticket. I splurged and bought myself a VIP ticket, so I sat in the front row in the audience with the regular people. I'm back with the regular people again. And I said to myself, let me just sit and wait here until I see, the people that I was with yesterday. And they weren't there. It was 9:30, it was 10:30, and I don't have a phone on me, so I can't text with them. And then I go to the back, and Clay Clark's wife was like, oh, come talk to me. So I was chatting with her. I go behind the metal barricade, and then this woman, this really mean woman comes up. She's like, is your +1 here? I'm like, the speaker here that you're, I'm like, no, I don't think they're here. She's like, then you need to leave. I was like, And then Vanessa Clark looked so sad for me, but I don't think there's anything she could do for security reasons. So then I went back and I sat in my seat again in the audience, and I kept waiting and I kept waiting, and then I get up again. It was like 11:30, another hour went by. There was some amazing speeches. I was really enjoying myself, especially from this guy. I forget his name, but he was from America Media Periscope, AMP. You guys should look him up on Rumble. He discusses a lot of truth about the Q movement and what's coming. American Media Periscope, AMP. I'll put the link on my Telegram also for that. So anyway, so I get up again at like 11:30, and then this same woman, this same mean woman, she's like, I was like, are they back there? Have you seen the people that I came with? And she's like, I did see them, and you're no longer needed back here. I just wanted to pass on the message. You're no longer needed back here. You can go back and have a seat. I was like, oh, she crushed me. She devastated me in that moment. She made me feel like so insignificant, like such a loser, like I didn't belong there. It's like that woman who like closes the curtain in first class, like, you go back to coach, you don't belong in first class. And I felt so sad because I had such a euphoric day the day before, and I thought like I could have that again. And I really was like, oh, should I just walk home? I was like so crushed. I was emotionally crushed and felt betrayal, rejection. I felt so many heavy emotions that I was like, I don't think I can enjoy the rest of this day. So I sat down in my seat, and then Charlie Ward had just come off the stage, and there was a huge line in front of me of people. He offered to sign books for people, give away free books and signed copies of his autobiography. So I was just having a good time in that moment, watching him interact with all the people who are so excited to meet with him, and he is so lovely. He gives such grace to people. When the 2 seconds that they have with him, he is fully present with them, and it's such an art just to watch him do that. So I was watching him, and then I had the idea, I'm like, I might as well get on this line because I don't think I'm going to get to meet him again, and I just wanted to have another second or two with him. So I get on the line, and I'm standing there near the metal barricade where all the speakers are behind, and then this woman, she taps me, and she goes, Gila, is that you? And I'm like, who's this tapping me? And she goes, Gila, come, you need to meet Dr. Michael. And I'm like, I met her yesterday behind there. I'm like, okay, I was going with it. She's like, you need to come back and meet her. She was really excited, really happy to see me. She goes, I watch your channel. I'm a big fan of Kabbalah Guru. You need to come back here with me. And I was open to the universe. I'm like, universe, whatever this is, let's follow this. So she takes my hand and lifts my leg. She opens the metal barricade and lets me back there. And I'm like scared because I'm like, what if that mean woman sees me? But I'm like, let me just go with it. So she takes me back there. She takes me right to Dr. Sandra Michael, and we have a conversation. I have my necklace on of her crystals, and we start chatting about that, and I'm like a little nervous to be back there, but I'm like starting to relax a little bit. And then this woman, Kathy Laney, who's my hero, she's who I'm talking about today. Not one of the bigger name celebrities. Kathy Laney, to me, was my celebrity for this past 2 days, because she swooped in that moment of total sadness and being crushed. She jumped in and lifted my spirits up so high again. And when I got back there, I said to her, I said, you know that I was just trying to get back here and they told me no. And I said, I was so sad, and I was hoping to get back here. And she goes, I saw you there, and I took a picture of you standing on the chair cheering. And I said, she said to me, God said to me 3 times, go get her. She said, because she's a prophet too. She said to me, God spoke to me, and she can hear God speak because she gets goosebumps every time she hears God speak. That's her sign. When her skin, she showed me the whole day her skin getting goosebumps, and she called it Ruach, the Spirit of God, because like it's a wind that gives her the goosebumps. And I love that. I'm gonna keep that one. So she told me she heard God say to her, go get Gila. And she didn't listen the first 2 times, but the 3rd time she came to get me. Because God was like, Mayday, Mayday, Gila down. Gila is down. She just got crushed. And God knew that he wanted me to go home on a spiritual high, not a spiritual low. So she took me back there, and I got to spend the next 2 to 3 hours just hanging out with Dr. Michael, who is a phenomenal healer and energy and woman and being and creature of light. And Scott McKay was hanging out with them, and there was some commotion about that, which was fun to witness. And I just had a totally different experience that day, that God himself treated me to through Kathy. Kathy, if you're watching, I love you. But Kathy was the conduit for God to come and show himself to me. That was where I saw Hashem the most yesterday, was when I was in the pits of despair. And it really would have sent me home feeling that this whole trip was had a sad energy to it. She turned it all around for me, and God himself turned it all around for me, and I felt God's presence jump in to save me. And then I just got a call from Dr. Michael in my hotel room. I'm looking out my window at the Hampton Inn. She's staying 1 hotel over, and she invited me to spend the morning with her. And that's how God works when you stay open. I didn't turn around and go home when I got crushed. I sat back down and I tried to center myself and heal myself and recover from the trauma of that woman who was so mean. That God was like, I got you, and this is going to be fun. I'm going to turn this around. And I think we're living in times of tremendous accelerated manifestation, and God's speaking to us. And if we stay open to it, even a hard situation, he'll teach you something. He'll teach you something. And I learned that I spoke it out with the person later on who I thought had shot me down and let me down. And he said to me, no, it was just they were beefing up security because they thought Antifa was going to be coming through. So I understood where he was coming from, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And a lot of lessons were learned about loyalty, about listening to God, and about adventure. And about being open to the universe, whatever the moment is offering you. Stay open to it. Every moment of life is so rich when we stay present to it. I love you guys. Thanks for listening to my story. Have a great day.